Hey everybody, welcome back to the Guns channel. Real quick video on stippling. Stippling is something I've been interested in for a little while now. I've been looking at some very cool videos online of some guys that are doing some amazing work. There's a phenomenally talented guy named RaspyGA who has a channel by the same name who's doing some really cool work, and just kind of inspired me to give it a shot. And I thought it might be interesting to take this video and show it to you just so you can see what it looks like when somebody who's never done any stippling of any kind gives it a shot. So I'm about 1 hour into this, and this is what we got. And it actually looks good. I gotta say, it is pretty straightforward, and it's kind of like if you ever put the grip tape on your pmags, which I've done. I mean, this might take about twice as long as it takes to cut the grip tape out and stick it in there, but it looks way cooler and it's permanent. And it actually has a better texture because it's not abrasive. It's just grippy. It's a good, it's a good feeling texture. So what I thought I would do is just show you a little bit about what I've learned doing this so far. And again, I'm just showing you something that I have done for the very first time. I'd like to get into some cooler stuff, maybe some other grips and some pistol frames, but this is certainly my very first attempt. So don't take anything as gospel here. It's just what I've learned. And this is just a little, I think it was $10 at Home Depot, Weller soldering iron, nothing fancy. And as you can see, it's got these little LEDs on it, which actually is kind of a cool feature. It makes it a little easier. But a couple of the quick tips that I've gotten from watching videos before I try doing this. Number one, got to be patient. No question about that. If you're in a rush, this is gonna be a frustrating process for you. This takes a long time. This probably took me an hour, 45 minutes. Number two, I'm drawing an outline first. You can see I'm filling this in. I take my time with the outline, and then I fill it in. And I do a row. I know there's some guys that do, like, they'll do the circles and kind of space their dots around. I don't do that. I just do a row so far. I might change my technique, but I thought I would do a couple rows with you here just so you can see how easy this is. Really nothing to be too afraid of at all. Let's do it. All right, number one, you need a good solid base, and I think you can see this, that I'm holding my wrist. My left hand is holding my right wrist, and this vantage point that I have on this surface here is going to be what I want to maintain if possible. If I can keep my head here where I'm looking at this thing, keep my hand here, my vantage point will not change. And the reason that's good is when you draw these dots and you're trying to keep them from at a certain distance from something else, like for example the edges of this bevel, then you want to maintain that view so that remains a constant product on the medium. And what I mean by that is, you notice I'm turning. If I'm going to draw the outline, let's say I started an outline down here, I'm going to draw this left to right, and then instead of starting to come down, what I'll do is actually rotate the mag and go left to right again and go left to right again. And that way I keep a constant distance of my indentations, my stippling, from that bevel. And then once you got the outline drawn, it's no big deal. You can just kind of go on through, and you can see here I'm just tap, tap, tap. The amount of pressure you use and the angle that you come down on the plastic with will determine what kind of a indentation you get. You can see here I'm just going along, and now if I don't manage to draw this in a perfectly straight line, it's not the end of the world. I can just come back and add another dot. It's just not that big of a deal, If you go check out that other guy's page, RaspyGA, he's got a very specific technique that I don't think I'm capable of doing right now, where he's very precisely bringing the tip of the soldering iron down and then drawing another dot exactly in a perfect row, in a perfect grid pattern. So every dot that he's doing will line up with another dot. And it looks pretty flippin' amazing, honestly, when he gets done. But I'm not even attempting that at this point. I'm just trying to put a nice texture on this pmag, and maybe we'll try to graduate to some other techniques later. But as you can see, we're just filling this in, and you see how easy this is? I mean, it's just not that hard. And I think it looks pretty good, and it's functional. So we're finishing this, putting the last dots in here, and you notice now I'm just kind of filling in the space is all it is. If I see an area that looks like it's a little light on dots, then I'll go in and I'll add some more. Now I'm noticing right down here, I don't know if you can tell or not from the video, but this bottom left corner from my perspective, it'd be bottom right for you, is this line of dots leading up to the beveled edge is off slightly. There's a little bit of a gap. So I'm going to flip it around. And I'm just going to increase my dots right there. That's all you got to do. Now it looks like it's solid on there. Anywhere I see that it's a little light. So there we go. We finished that panel. Just wanted to give you that quick demo. I hope you find this interesting and useful. Again, if you're considering stippling, that shows you just more or less pretty much how easy that is. It's a good texture. If you look close at it there, it looks pretty much, it looks almost like it was designed that way. And when I finish this thing up, maybe I'll post another video. But in the meantime, if you're giving it some thought, well, here you go. Here's some more food for thought for you. That's an amateur's very first stippling attempt. Thanks, guys. Any questions, let me know.